Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm going to be going over an article that a lot of you have been asking me to go over involving Apple and some of their internal videos and how they undermine third-party repair. As I say on this channel, there are people that have ideas and there are ideas that have people. And I genuinely never want to become one of those people who is owned by an idea. As you may know if you watch my channel, I'm not the biggest fan of how Apple deals with independent repair shops, and I am more than happy to point it out on every occasion. Here, I think that people are jumping on Apple a little too prematurely because what they're doing is actually the same type of thing that I would do in my own store. And I don't blame them for all of what they are being blamed for here in this article, so I thought I would go through it with you. So I don't know when this video is actually going to make it to YouTube. I am encoding it in potato quality, and it's probably still going to take a while to get up there because at the hotel I'm staying at, I have 68 kilobit per second upload. 68 kilobit per second upload. So let's dig into this article now. So it says leaked Apple training videos show how it undermines third-party repair. And I've taken a couple of notes here just to make sure that I don't forget my thoughts because for some reason I felt very just kind of out of it today. So it says 8 leaked training videos show how Apple instructs its repair partners to buy expensive parts when cheap ones will do. My first note is define do. What is your particular definition of when a cheap part will do? Isn't it up to the consumer to make that choice based on having all the information? And if there's a difference in the way I perform my service or the parts I use and the way someone else will perform their service and the parts that they use, isn't it totally fine that I explain that to my customers? So that framing there, in and of itself, I think is a little bit unfair to Apple. Now, if Apple were lying and claiming that when they fix a board, that it has a different TPS 51125 5-volt and 3-volt regulator on it than the Texas Instruments one that I can buy on Mouser.com, and that that's going to supply an unstable voltage to the board, therefore killing it, that would be bullshit. 110% that would be bullshit. But when they say that their screen on an iPhone may have less issues than an aftermarket supplier, in my opinion, they're not wrong. I used to sell iPhone screens by the truckload in 2011 and 2014 for my supply company, and I would seek to buy the best possible parts I could. But even then, when I was selling thousands of screens, I would still have piles and piles of RMAs and returns. Some from other repair shops that admittedly didn't know how to install it, but some of them from me when I was installing them because they just wouldn't work. And I visited a bunch of repair shops over the past month. I did a video showing you me visiting a bunch in Massachusetts, and there was a staple of several of these shops. An RMA box, a crate-sized box of RMAs going back to either injured gadgets or mobile centrics filled with screens that were shit, that had ghost touch or that just weren't working right. And, you know, ghost touch here, defective LCD there. This is sadly a very common thing, and it's not because these companies are trying to screw you. You know, I've met people that work at these companies. They really care about their customers, but you could buy the most expensive lines of screens. It goes the same for virtually any manufacturer, and you're not getting the exact same screen that went into the iPhone. And I would dare say that it is a part that is manufactured with a lesser standard than the original. Because again, we're not a $2 trillion company. We don't have access to everything they do. We have to deal with the scraps. So we deal with what we deal with. Now, here it says, if both screens were responding accurately, we'd see screen touches that yield the same results, a voiceover said. Instead, the third-party screen is missing touches or registering them at different locations. Yes, every technician that has worked on an iPhone in their life has experienced this, and if you haven't, you're lying. Or, you know, everybody's done this, where you've gotten a shitty batch, or you've had to try 2 or 3 screens in a row, and every tech in that moment has likely quietly thought to themselves, man, wouldn't it be great if we could just get access to a fucking original? Like, he's not lying. Now, whether the defect rate is the same for the OEM versus Apple's, again, I can't say for sure. I haven't done a scientific study on this, but I doubt as many people are leaving the Apple store when they buy a new iPhone with the exact same defect rate as your small independent repair shop that has that box of RMAs. And again, it's not because we want to buy cheap shit. It's because we don't have access to better. I've bought the cheap grade. I've bought the expensive grade. The expensive grade is better than the cheap grade, by far. But the expensive grades will still have their problems. And I'm just going to take a wild guess there that based on how many iPhones Apple sells, that they do not have the defect rate that small repair shops do when they're buying their screens from Injured Gadgets or Mobile Centrics or Jack Telecom or whoever the hell else you feel like buying from. And now it says here, this quote's for a genuine part, the technician says. What do you mean by genuine, the customer asks, his hand making scare quotes. I'd like to save money. Aren't they really the same part? They're not. They're fundamentally not. When I buy a TPS 51125 on Mouser.com, to replace the 5-volt regulator on your 820-3115 motherboard, I am getting the exact same part that went on it. It doesn't fucking matter if it's an Apple authorized TPS 51125 or a TPS 51125 that I bought on Mouser, because it's not made by Apple, it's not an Apple part, it's a Texas Instruments part. So if they were to say that this is an Apple authorized TPS 51125, whereas that's, Lewis's knockoff one, that would be bullshit, because there is no knockoff TPS 51125. I buy it on Mouser for like $2 or $5, so it's, that would be BS. But with iPhone screens, there are different grades, and you are typically getting a higher grade at the Apple Store. That's just true. Again, it doesn't matter if I dislike Apple. It doesn't matter if I dislike the Apple Store. It doesn't matter if I dislike how they deal with their customers. If they're telling the truth, then, what am I going to do? Just sit here and pretend it's not the truth, as almost every repair shop knows it, just because I don't like them? No, I'm not going to do that. It's why I've shied away from iPhone screens being a big part of my primary business, and I focus on board repair, because board repair is what I actually know. I'm offering a better value. I'm doing a better job. I've seen Apple's refurbished motherboards before. When you get a new motherboard at the Apple Store, what they're actually giving you often, in my experience, is a board that they have had refurbished by someone else. They don't refurbish the boards as well as I do. I'm just going to put it out there. I'm more than happy to attach my name to that statement. I'm confident that the board refurbishing that's done by Chris or Dan or Paul or myself is way better than that, shoving a freaking piece of rubber onto a board and leaving cake flux all over it bullshit that they do. I've seen enough Apple refurb boards to know that we do better. But when it comes to iPhone screens, it's not the same thing. It's just not. Now, it says in the article, with the genuine Apple display, all the features you come to rely on behave seamlessly. That's not the case with third-party displays. A big part of this is because Apple goes out of their way to disable functionality with third-party displays. And not mentioning that one of the very reasons these features don't work is because Apple turns it off when you install another part. There, you're being disingenuous. Again, here, feel free to be mad about this. But saying that the screens are different and saying that the aftermarket screens often have ghost touching issues, that's the truth. And anybody who is going to tell you otherwise is either A, lying, B, doesn't really work in this industry. Again, do we warranty them? Absolutely. Does companies like Injure Gadgets offer a lifetime warranty on their things? You could check their website. They will offer an insane warranty. They're not doing this to screw you. It's just the reality that us small people don't get access to the exact same things that a $2 trillion company does. We try, but we don't. It's not because we're being cheap. It's not because again, if a customer comes back and they have ghost touching, it doesn't matter if they're 6 months out of a 1-year warranty at my business. I will swap it out for free because I'm not trying to screw them. It's just the reality that if I were getting the exact same screen that went in the iPhone, you'd have less of that. Now, the article says what's important to note is that although there are some inferior third-party parts, Apple is painting with a very broad brush here. I would argue that their brush is actually fair. There are many third-party companies that use only the very high-quality aftermarket parts, used authentic or refurbished parts, and are able to offer good repairs for a price that is much less expensive than Apple. True. But I would still say that the Apple iPhone screens have a lower defect rate. It doesn't matter if you're buying high-quality aftermarket. It doesn't matter if you're buying high-quality refurbs. At the end of the day, I would argue that if you are getting an actual new screen, like a real honest-to-God from Apple screen, that when it comes to an iPhone, that has a lower defect rate. And again, it says here, consumers should be empowered to make their own decisions about what repair services to use. True. But that doesn't change that what they're saying is not incorrect. But these videos show that Apple has invested in undermining the credibility of its competitors. Not true. Again, that's not what they're doing. Again, if your services cost more than somebody else's services, it makes total sense to explain why that is the case. It really does. If somebody comes in and says, "Look, Lewis, L2 computer is cheaper than you for motherboard repair." Oh, I explain why. They have a 30-day warranty. They reflow bad GPUs and give it back to you as okay. Here are numerous pictures of boards that people have brought here with a little L2 computer sticker on them showing how they were refurbished, and here's how we would refurbish them. That's not trying to discredit them. That's not the case. That's simply me explaining why my service costs more than L2 computer. And I am more than happy to defend the work that we do against the garbage that you get when you go to L2 computer. And I don't mind saying that because I know it to be the truth from the experiences that I've had with them and from the experience that many of my customers have had from them. I don't mind saying that. And if someone asks me, "Lewis, why is your service almost twice as much as theirs?" I'm going to give you an honest answer. I'm going to give you an answer based on the truth. It's not because I want to go out of my way to discredit them. It's because you asked me What makes us different? And now again, here's the thing. Again, even if you spend top dollar on your iPhone screens, you're not getting the exact same as Apple OEM. This is not, and there's a difference between laptop screens and iPhone screens. So for instance, with laptop screens, again, 6 years ago, I could go out there to an LG broker. I could buy 1,000 LP133 WP1 TJAAs, and I could get the exact same screen that went into a MacBook Air. We're not talking about a counterfeit or a knockoff. We're talking about in sealed LG packaging with an A on the side. So typically when you buy these screens, there's different grades. You can get with an A on the side. That's good. You can get with a 5 on the side. That means you should probably pre-sort them before you give them to your customers, figure out which are good and which are bad. And then you have ones with a 9 on the side. When you get an LG box with a 9 on the side, these are rejects. Now, often it means that it was a reject, but like again, you never know why. Maybe one screen out of the box of 20 is bad. You put that one aside, and you give it to somebody who just maybe wants a free repair or something as a discount, and you use the rest. But there are different grades there. But you can buy something from the exact same manufacturer that made it for Apple. Again, and like if I buy an LP133 WP1 TJA from an LG broker, back when I could do that, and there was a little A written on the side of the box, I'm getting the exact same shit that Apple's putting into that computer. And I am more than happy to put that next to what Apple is doing. I am more than happy to sell that as you're getting literally the exact same part to the customer. But with an iPhone, that's just not the case. I can't just like phone up some broker and get the exact same screen with the exact same glass, with the exact same manufacturing tolerances as went into an iPhone. And if you want to use that as your selling point, then yeah, do it. Again, I'm not going to advocate that Apple shouldn't be allowed to do something that we do ourselves. How many of you have gotten someone coming into your store asking, why is an iPhone screen repair $80 with you when it's $40 down the street? You're going to say the exact same thing that Apple does, which is either, look at the reviews of that business. They're like 2-star. Or look at the parts they use. Or look at the rate at which they long screw phones and have to send them out to Jessa Jones to fix them and get your data back after they long screw the phone. That's normal. How to respond to customers when they ask why is the competition cheaper is part of the training, I imagine, of any store that cares about offering a good customer experience and being able to offer them solutions. Now, getting into the parts of the article I do agree with. As someone who works as an Apple authorized repair technician, I see on a daily basis how many devices the manufacturer claims are unrepairable, but that third-party repair shops have shown again and again they can solve, letting people recover precious documents and memories that because of manufacturer restrictions I am not allowed to help with. 100% true. I have no problem with that statement. That's true. But that's also very, very separate from what we're talking about here. What we're talking about here is the specific instance of Apple saying that the reason that the other repair shop is cheaper is because they're using screens that don't have the exact same tolerances as theirs, that may have ghost touch, which is 100% true. Now, does it also just happen to be true that Apple doesn't allow people who are Apple authorized to fix these things? Yes. I went over the Apple IRP program, and this program is a steaming pile of shit. I have several videos on it. I'm not going to repeat the entire thing here. This is a 16-minute long video that I did several years ago. This is another video on it. The TLDR is if I wanted to take part in Apple's program that allowed me to get access to original parts. If I wanted to take part in the IRP program, I can't have schematics and diagrams in my store anymore. I'm signing a contract that allows Apple to come into my store and inspect it. And if I'm buying donor boards, if I'm buying chips to fix people's motherboards and make their stuff work again, they're not going to be happy with that. They're going to ask me to take that stuff out of my store. If I have access to schematics and diagrams that say Apple Confidential on the bottom and I use that to fix customer products, they're not going to be happy with that. I'm not going to be able to be a part of their program. So to get access to the original screens that would allow me to offer a better service to customers, to be able to buy those screens from Apple, I need to give up on doing all of those repairs, all of those data recoveries, all of those things that actually allow me to offer a competitive service to my customers. And that's the real story here. The real story is not that Apple is telling customers that, that if you go to an independent, you may be getting a crappier iPhone screen. Because again, no shit. Yes, that's true. And the entire thing that we're arguing for is the ability to actually buy something that is not a piece of shit to put in the product. A real story is that the program that allows us to get access to these things is a useless program because of the way it's designed. In the beginning, this program is so horrible that you actually couldn't stock parts. I would have to order a part. When you come in with your phone wanting to get it fixed, if you come in with your device or whatever, I would have to take the information off of your device and then use that information to buy a screen. Not kidding. It's all covered in that video. I hear that they've changed it since then, but the fact that it was released that horribly just demonstrates that this program is never meant to be competitive in any way, shape, or form. You would have to actually take the IMEI or all that information, take down the customer information, and then order it, and then wait for it to show up. I mean, the program is horrible. But the fact that if I actually join that program to get access to an original screen to put into a customer's phone, I'm no longer able to do the repairs that I actually do that are competitive. That's the real story. That's what really needs to be covered here. It says here that, again, it's frustrating to watch people have to struggle with confusing situations when Apple tells customers their device needs to be replaced, while a non-authorized service provider could actually be more effective. Yet Apple deliberately tries to dissuade customers from seeking better solutions from third parties. That's why right to repair is important for me. That is also 100% true. Back in 2015 and 16, what really used to tick me off is when we would have people come here from the Apple store and they would say that they were told if somebody says that they can fix the motherboard without replacing it, they're scamming you. That used to piss me the F off, and that's one of the things that really encouraged me to start doing these YouTube videos more and more often, and to have them be live and unedited. Because if they're going to say that if someone says they can fix the board, it's a scam, cool, game on, let's do this. Let's live stream to YouTube. I'll take the machine, I'll unscrew it in front of you, I'll show you all the liquid damage on it, I'll show you it being dead, I'll show you exactly what I do to make it work again. You can decide whether or not you like my process or you think my process is unprofessional, and then you can look at my ratings for yourself over the past 10 or 13 years and see whether or not you think that what we do lasts or is ripping off our customers. That used to drive me nuts, because there they were lying. And do people get lied to at the Apple Store? Yes, they are lied to at the Apple Store, in my opinion, on a regular basis, and I don't like that they do that. And I don't like that they often throw third-party repair into the bus. That being said, in this one instance, it doesn't matter that I dislike Apple. It doesn't matter that I dislike how they treat their customers. It doesn't matter that I dislike how they treat independent repair. In this particular instance, I don't have a problem with what Apple's doing here. Again, they're telling their customers that when you go to a third party, if they are using an aftermarket or a knockoff screen, you are more likely to get ghost touch. That is why it is more expensive to have the repair done by us. That's the fucking truth, man. Like, what do you want from me? You want me to just like say it's not true when it's not? Again, I've been reading so many comments from this saying like, I can't believe they're telling people that. How dare they? Like, no shit. I mean. Like, I've been working in this industry since 2008, and to say that when you get an aftermarket or a refurbished iPhone screen, even if you're going to mobile-centric Surrender Gadgets and buying the top-rated one, or whichever one's the most expensive on their site, sort by highest price, show me a repair shop that doesn't have a giant RMA box going back to mobile-centric Surrender Gadgets. It's the way it is. We don't have access to the same stuff, and I'd like to be able to get access to the same stuff, and that's what we're arguing for. Now, yeah. That's it. Let me know what you think in the comments down below. I'm hoping that people actually listen to the entire video before leaving a comment. That's probably hoping for too much. I'll leave it in a pinned comment down below that probably nobody will read. Anyway, hopefully this video is able to go up, because my upstream is under 100 kilobit per second for most of the day. I will see you all in the next video. Bye now.